Hello everyone, so Schwerpunkt is back on track, fortunately, pleasantly, for something that I couldn't hope for, but was kind of in the air, and I said, okay, let's stop and wait and see. And simply the reason being that our country has extended, as others, the deadline for PhDs of those like me that are at last year with a scholarship. It's been great news because honestly we had been given only 2 months. As you know, I should have ended on October the 31st by schedule. Instead, it ended up to December the 31st, and now it's January the 31st. And it may even be that this thing will be extended further, which to me is cool because getting in, together with the scholarship, I can't keep doing what I want, or even advantaging some other stuff I want to do, like some article. Today I spoke with some of my professors incidentally, which said the thesis basically is fine, just I have to strengthen the introduction of the single chapters a bit more. But I have the time for doing it. It's actually, everything is working fine. And one of them actually with the person that honestly I care about the most, because he is actually the only military history expert, told me that also he would like me to participate to a review, and I hope that I'll start after this time to write many articles, even though I've told you many times I don't like very much the at least how the calls for papers actually work. And also we'll be searching for a postdoc. And the fact that the PhD has been extended, of course, it's less time to that. But given the mess that is taking place now, that the vaccines are arriving, but still we don't know like how much it will take before that the whole thing will be over and so on, and we don't even know, unfortunately, how everything is going to unfold. Well, yeah, I mean, to spend at least 1 month more doing what or maybe at some point we'll see, because they're still debating the thing in the ministry and whatever, how much time should be given. It's cool because I know by experience that other countries actually gave like an entire year, and we lag behind because like we're kind of big, and also our economy is not faring excessively well, so that's all extra money and so on. But with the thing of the European Union now that has given that part of money for the help, etc., that came along with it. And I don't know, we'll maybe talk about it another time. Today, it's just this communication to tell you that for December, I plan maybe I would like to start right away. Tomorrow, I will talk about the the Scottish infantry that I wanted to talk to you about last time before I stopped. And I may, like for the holidays as last year, of course, the single days I will not upload a video as usual, but I would like to restart. And now, as usual, I may take some other time. I don't know, like some day, but not more. I want to start again to do what I do, and I don't think it will take me away the time I was planning to keep now, because that's how I wrote the world work before, making Schwerpunkt, as I told you last time. So it's gonna be fine. In case I'll have some problem, I will simply tell you, and it's not going to be a problem. This is just for like comforting you for all the the amazing comments that you left when I told you I was stopping until January the 2nd, and I was moved by them. Like, you were very, very nice with me. You even now proposed me a gift. I have to answer the person via email, because now I will not tell, but there's going to be probably another very interesting video about ancient coins and more, because we are really like, I will simply continue making the thing like it was before, the same topics, the same range of videos. For Christmas, like in the last few years, I plan to make that kind of migration era people special, like that I pick. Usually I've done 2 videos of that kind, 2 peoples, and explain their story during the migration era. I won't tell you which ones they are. They're just normally Central European ones, and we'll see that as well. And I'm not entirely sure, but I'm positive about it. Just have to gather the information, and that's pretty much it. As far as the research is going, as we'll tell you, is fine. Right, I finished the dreaded bibliography, and that was over 550 between sources and studies, which is not even a lot considering the size of the thesis. But anyhow, and I'll have to check some other stuff. As I told you, I want to talk about this at some point to be useful to people that would like to write something historical at many levels, because of course there is a methodological problem that can't be taught but through sheer practice. But there are lots of other, even if you want even practical, even just material, mechanical matters that people may say, but how do I do that? Like, where do I find this? Where can I find that? And how I can put it together? Where can I, how can I publish that in the first place? How can I let myself be known? How can I participate to the thing? I've been vocal about just the critical part of it, but at the same time, I think I should be more constructive regarding the how to do side of the story, so that every worthy person can surely have its own shot for the few I can do about it. Because honestly, like I told you many times, I don't consider myself such a dramatically skilled historian or whatever. But we grow over time, so we grow up, we grow old as well, and therefore step by step, at least for what I've seen it's like, I can maybe just tell you my advice. It's no lesson, it's no cathedratic staff, as I told you many times. And honestly, having this extra month is like, since I learned of that yesterday night, and ever since I relaxed for all the tension that I had before, like it's not tension, it was actual commitment. Like I knew I would have had to finish this in 2 weeks now, and there are also the holidays in the middle, and of course I have a lot of stuff to do yet in practice. That it's not much altogether, considering the time available, but it's many little things that make you worry and say, but if I make this better, if I write this comment better, but not literally, but I mean small details, right? That can add to the substance of the work. So I relaxed a little bit. January is a long month, and that's usually also the one in which I work best. Usually December and January. I don't know why. I presume it's because usually humans have stronger hormones in these, especially now towards the end of autumn. But I presume the peak is something like around the solstice of winter. And I don't know what I'm telling bullshit, but I'm pretty sure at least in autumn. That's it. Yeah, that's where you have more hormone usually, where hair fall and you feel more energetic and committed, and you wanna do more. I remember last year I wrote in January, one of the single most important parts of the thesis was the analysis of the big pitched battles. That was the most complicated part, at least as far as all the intertwined sources are about, because for the rest it's just like criticism at that point, but it's example after example with simpler events like single actions, maybe still battles, but battles that are not excessively documented like the other ones. And this is the time which I work well, and that's why I feel I can handle Schwerpunkt as well. And it's also more reading other studies that can be useful to give a bit of bibliographical vest to the world thing. It's a moment for even just rereading the whole stuff, because you and picturing it for what it is, because there are, when you write something like 600 pages, that actually, if you frame them in a certain way, they're 1200. even if you are the father of that, you don't recognize it all unless you read it and reread it, especially after you have modified it a lot and you kind of know what you have written, but you don't know how it sounds when you read it like all together in one shot. And there are certain things that in fact I have to realize that those people that come from the outer side uh, cannot understand immediately, and I have to introduce it very properly. So I'm glad I have the necessary relaxation and time. And if I get other time, honestly, like 1 month ago was spring, saying if I only had a month more, right? The 10 month more, the 10 month more arrived, and it helped me a lot. And for the rest, are there going to be novelties on Schwerpunkt? As I was saying before, no, not really. There's gonna be, honestly, at some point, like in the last 3 years, you know that, and I told you, and I think you can distinguish it even without my explanation, that there are, aside from the film Krieger, that is something evidently on its own, but the the history videos are mostly like one part is kind of manualistic, if you want, because I actually pick the topics from various manuals and I start simply to to talk about them because they are broad topics, so I can put everything I want there, and they can be useful because of course, mm, there are always different things you can say about the same big topic, right? And then there are the usually the military historical ones, or it can still be manuals, but still focusing a bit more, like the ones I make on the Turkish wars and the modern age, or Roman history. But for the rest, it's mostly military history. It's like videos like this of this, the one I will do tomorrow about the Scottish infantry or something more specific. That it seems to me is what you like the most. So I was thinking about the fact that I could at some point. I mean, uh, I would like to continue like this, but at some point the manuals will end. So I think I will have said enough about certain and I can't maybe descend into something deeper. Historically speaking, we could do biographies that I'm not a great fan of, but there are certain characters that are really important, and even if they're not, they can't tell you so much about the the place and time, and it could be at some point it will start telling you exactly what I do, what I research on, and what I can share with you about. And it's mostly a methodological thing at that point because it's not much the historical information, but seeing how what's the historical problem, what's the relation with the historiographical perspective that you should have. What are the limits of scholarship? Because that's another topic that, as you know, I'm kind of very interested in. Because by nature, or by tradition or whatever, the things that for me up to now, I'm not extra. I'm usually distrustful towards historiography, or at least I think it can't tell you more than much, especially for the most interesting things. And as you know, military history is not, it hasn't received the due attention in the West, or at least when it's happened, sometimes there have been important mistakes, conceptual ones. In the last days, before I stopped making videos, I was, for example, introducing you certain topics that are exactly about that, are a bit more theoretical if you want, but in fact they are aimed at clarifying a bit more the concepts of it. Because the problems we have with history is it's not a matter of like knowing the single information, which everybody can do, but framing it in a correct structure. That is exactly also what fundamentally education teaches you to do. I mean, gives you, is aimed at least of giving you, and unfortunately also there with education a lot of things do not work. But that's in fact even a problem that goes beyond method or information themselves. So a lot of connected stuff, but I thought also I will keep doing the Famkaiga series, but I thought at some point we could speed up maybe on the strictly military historical part, that is to say, making the less manuals, right? Or basic history. But believe me, yeah, I think I have at least for another year of those manuals, because I'm perceiving getting towards the end, but I realized that my time length is always on the long run, and yeah. So, but at some time, I will exhaust that, and it will go at some point. I realize too that there are older videos that I will keep online because unexpectedly, especially some of them, keep making me get a lot of views, and it's almost disturbing to see how like the stupidest videos actually give me that. And at the time I spoke much worse than I do now, and therefore I'm surprised how people even get it. I mean, I realize it that there is some algorithm, but simply, or maybe it's the title, whatever. People just come there, and immediately they don't even follow it more than much. But I always have it here, right? It's these three damn videos that fortunately attract a lot of audience, let's say, and that I will keep there. But I think of titling them, at least of tagging them, saying like these are old videos. Like, understand that I didn't know how to do the thing at the beginning. Even now it's not 100%, but at the same time it's somewhat better. There are certain videos, honestly, I'm very happy of, not many, but certain ones that surely help, that help myself understanding a lot more, and that I surely want to capitalize upon by making other connected ones to expand, to deepen the thing. And what I was saying, which I don't remember, is that I was also surprised by the fact that in how many days is that? I don't, like 10 days or bit more. In 10 days I got other 60 subscribers, which is pretty cool, which is something that I had never tested before, because of course, sometimes I went on vacations and so on, but I didn't have so many videos uploaded yet, and instead, now I could see, even for just 10 days, that subscribers keep coming, and the numbers are always contained. I mean, it's not a big dynamic, but at the same time it's constant. The channel doesn't go under, it keeps attracting. It's like gaining its own gravitational mass of sort, and therefore I'm very happy of it, because it seems like, after all, in spite of how niche this all is, there are people who care. And as I was saying before, you wrote me beautiful things about what I do. I saw, like, many of you speaking their minds, even as you don't usually do. I realize you listen to my videos, and you have ideas on your own opinion. That's great. That's exactly what I make these videos for, and therefore I'm very happy with that. And as always, as I've already done, I thank you again for all this great support and affection and attachment at some point that you give Schwerpunkt. That really means not much to me, but to you. Like, I think if you do it's because you really care about yourself, and you can improve, and there will surely be the moment in which you will leave here by saying, like, I want to do something on my own. I don't need to listen to YouTube videos. I want to write history. I want to learn. I want to study. I want to do something that actively will contribute in turn to spread historical awareness, which I think that is the single most important thing for the world right now. Like, honestly, it can be like a professional deformity, but I really believe that history is, at this point in history, one of the single most important factors that can help people be better in the terrible mess that we seem to be like. I don't know whether it's because of the media that naturally portray things in an accurate way, not because think of plots or conspiracies, whatever, but it's simply because it is like it's for taking the media for what they are, and we have instead however a huge opportunity at this point to do better, like I've never had before, that goes unexploited, and I hope that videos like this will at least make people realize that they can actively do something about things that happen in the world. Like, it's not, oh, things are going bad, I will simply close myself in my shell, my own shell, and let the world, go on. It's obvious, it's a normal thing. We see it in times of crisis normally, especially when things eventually do go worse, or at least there is a moment of they go worse also just from an ideological point of view, because that's also a deal. It's not necessarily because people are wealthier or whatever that they become smarter or whatever. There is no direct connection automatically, right? It's more likely, honestly, but it's not to be given for granted, and that's what I try to convey through Schwerpunkt, especially given you that, and I must confess it to you that thanks especially to von Clausewitz, I gained in the last years through this series and all the thing we talk about a much greater respect of the idea over matter. Not that I have ever been like truly never been a structuralist, but I've been influenced by at least certain points of view in the past, and I've never liked structuralism, honestly. But I realized that I gave somewhat, like, as young people tend to do, like when you grow up, you that leaves itself to kind of deterministic take of towards reality. That is to say, you want, when you're young, you're new to the world, you're insecure, you don't know, so you search for certainties, right? And that's what kind of a bit more of materialistic way of life paradoxically gives the impression of giving you, because it says, the thing happened like that because, I don't know, that society was too rich or too poor, or wealth was simply distributed in that way. Well, that's very important indeed. It's always the same thing, but there is also the idea, right? It's not just the material side, it's not even just all the ideal side, but it's the both of them, and understanding how they interplay. That's fundamentally what a healthy historical vision should be about. At the end of the day, the sooner you realize that, and the better you work. Then it's not easy to, if you're just told, you should experience it by yourself. That's exactly the point I'm making here. But it's still important to point out, because even if you think about this, our current political debate about about wealth, about it mostly obviously gets down to money, who has it and who hasn't. But that's still the reflection of, like, there are, as if there were just two parties that just think that one thing is the thing or one thing is the other, and there is no middle ground. Actually, most people, I think, have their feet in that middle ground, but sometimes they do not realize that having a need doesn't mean everybody has it the same way, or that necessarily solving that need is the best or the worst you can do, and everything should be deepened, and then just people who are expert, who know their thing concretely, and not just because of an ideological background, should give their take on it, should express their take on it. I don't even know what I'm talking about this, so whatever. And so this was just like a little channel update. I think that towards the now that it stopped for 10 days, I think it will make the 900th video towards the second week of January. That point, Otherwise, it would have been earlier, towards the end of the year now. But we will make a video update then, or otherwise a channel update. Otherwise, we will skip it because honestly, who cares? The channel is always the same, so nothing is changing too much. If you look at the last updates that I made, video updates on Schwerpunkt, that's more or less the same dynamic, and maybe we will make a big update just for the 1000th video. Regarding the statistics that I can tell you about the growth, this is a moment of the year which usually in the northern hemisphere, obviously because of winter, people stay, the colder season, people tend to stay more home and consequently watch more. So there's normally an increase of views, and this I think is being showed by just the trend here that I have under in front of my eyes now. That obviously when I stopped making videos, things went down, but we're still above 1000 views per day, and actually even more subscribers than usual. I had in 1 month more one, considering that it went down even in here, and similar to the usual here, YouTube tells me 130 subscribers. Let's see what happens now by starting to push a little forward, because honestly, as you know, I had an important growth. I think it was last year, this year at the beginning in January, that we reached 1000 subscribers. So now it's gotten to almost triple, which is honestly very, very cool, because I have kept making videos the same rate every day, and I've had an important growth towards April, and then again, it's been sustained also in the following months, and tripling means that if next year we'll be able to make, I don't know, 8,000, well, that's already something. And the beauty of this is that more people know, and theoretically the faster this thing should go, right? And I realize the formula I have here is not the best of entertainment, and that you just have to really like very, very much the topic for like appreciating me speaking for hours about it, and or just you have other reasons. But I think it's remarkable that so many people arrive and actually watch, right? So I hope to expand this also to I don't know if you noticed, but I stopped since September to even make the video, to write the video descriptions, which I don't think has helped, because I realized that many people come across my videos thanks to words that I inserted in the description. So abandoning that was not a good idea, and I could make up for it, or because I always insert the tags, but I get the impression the tags are not so important, because you can tag, but this means that the most popular videos will, however, get those tags instead than you, right? Because unless they are very specific videos like I used to do a bit, like in terms of topic, so that they kind of nobody made anything else about that, they kind of they're tailored into each other, so you find them among the suggestions and so on. But as far as, if it's a big topic and some other and much more successful channel made a big video about that, of course my tag will mostly readdress you to that bigger channel. Instead, the description sometimes contains a lot of stuff that objectively I realize, at least for what I wrote, it's not even contained, even just as words, as type of information in other videos descriptions, and that helped me. So that honestly took its toll, because I used to do it mostly for the Facebook sharing, because up to, I don't remember when, I think it was this summer, I also used to share the videos every time I made them on multiple Facebook groups, at some certain time, the algorithm there also prevented me from sharing stuff like that, but nobody's actually signaled it, and so on. But the point I'm making is that I kind of stopped actively sharing stuff. First of all, because it always bothered me in a way. It took me like half an hour a day to just go across all the tens and tens of Facebook groups. It brought little, like I saw from the statistics, that maybe up to actually very few, right? Because like something like a 3%. That's also why I abandoned that, because I think it was no use. But I used to present the video through a description as well. So simply because certain groups require them, but also to show, like, I'm not just throwing that stuff like watch my video and I don't even tell you what it is. It's just to show you what it's about and so on. So I abandoned that, and this probably, yeah, I paid it in terms of views, but I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I started this in order to mostly test the algorithm, to see what chances are there for my videos to keeping being watched, and there was a positive answer, because this thing is working on its own. That was my dream, like that I can't even quit for, I don't know, the time I go on vacations and then come back and see that the channel has kept growing, has kept going. This is the great thing of YouTube. Personally, I could have never done something that was done once, like in that there was no specific reason for which people would come back and watch. YouTube objectively gives, through its function, this great opportunity, which is pretty cool. And the weird thing is, in fact, that sometimes it's just even older stuff that has nothing to do with being properly appreciated. Sometimes I think that even the most hated videos are watched because people say, well, look, like, do you want to get this sense of shame for the way you spoke or something? Oh, look at this guy, hate it. But the weird thing, I think it's not even correct, because the videos that I was talking about before are also incidentally the most liked. That is, people come and say, yeah, that they maybe see the video is disgusting in some way from a formal point of view, but they still press like, and I don't know exactly why it is, right? And also sometimes probably a trigger some reaction. I mean, I don't care about the dislikes, because the dislikes honestly help in the YouTube algorithm as well. So you could dislike all my videos, and that would make a great it would be a great benefit to the statistics, because YouTube would register that as likes, because they're actually the same thing. Of course, maybe in the presentation it wouldn't be so great for the audience, but I don't care about that either. I just realize here and there that when I make videos, especially on certain specific topics, that are weird, like it's not a serial thing. But for example, Byzantine history, that of course I will get a dislike just for calling it Byzantine, and we made a video to explain the whole thing there. Yes, they were Romans, I perfectly know that, and I'm a great fan of the thing, but I still call it Byzantine for reasons that I explained elsewhere. Well, for example, I don't know why, but there is always a dislike there. And it's strange, because I don't usually check it, but when I do, it turns out like there are just likes everywhere, and always at those ones are dislike. So it's weird, because even if someone dislikes what I say, and maybe dislikes me, but it always dislikes only that type of video that I don't even make very often. So it's very, like, the person that does that, is welcome to show up and say why, because honestly I'm fascinated by it, and of course I don't care about the dislike. It's fine. It's of course fine. I deserve dislikes as much as I do, right? For whichever reason you deem it's like that. But just, I say this just for telling you how weird, like, the even just the statistics are. Like, not this one of the dislikes specifically, but just how YouTube sends in circle, once again, certain videos rather than others, right? That's the weird stuff that everybody is trying to figure out. It's obviously some of different factors, and I presume altogether they are actually reasonable ones. That is to say, if it's really a matter of entertaining the audience, if there is a valid criterion for it at the end of the day, or at least something that maybe doesn't necessarily help the best comment to emerge. Content to emerge. I don't think I make the best content, of course, but there are certain things that I objectively done, as we were saying before, that I liked very much, and that, for example, didn't have the success that those really lame videos of mine had. So that's the interesting thing of it. It fascinates me, honestly. I don't know why. I've always been fascinated by it ever since even before starting the channel, because I wondered how it worked, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I confess I didn't make such a big effort for it, nor I am that fanatic that checks all the, that promotes everything, that does, even just that spends the day watching analytics. Actually, I'm not watching them anymore. I even lost some functions here. That's another story that I will probably fix sometime. But I mean, I don't care. Honestly, for all the stuff that I had to do recently, I completely stopped. Like I started feeling this all as I should be feeling it. Like, that is, I make a video every day, yes, but it doesn't. I don't have to care for it. Like, I just do it because I like it, and I don't have to care. I mean, for how how much views it gets, how it's received or not, and it has paid, because the channel kept growing, and as I told you last time, that's not even a big deal to me that it remains a small one, or it grows, because honestly, I like it the way it is. I like it for what I do, and I'm just happy if that can help somebody, and that's it. Alright, and I can't think of anything else, I think, at the moment. No. But anyhow, this is pretty much it, and tomorrow I will make this video I wanted to make before, and hopefully will restart just the way it did. I have no reason to, except, possible work that I have to do, but it's not gonna have, I think, an impact like in the last 10 days, and I'm glad I actually came back speaking about this. So for now, we stop it here. I just hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it, otherwise leave a like or subscribe to my channel if you're interested in my upcoming content. And for now, I thank you heartily for listening to me. I wish you a nice time, and see you next time. Bye.